Welcome back to the BHS Spotlight. We're here with two of our junior class members, Ella Wolters and Angela Diaz. They're here to represent the junior class as we bring prom back to Batesville High School. And so, Ella, that's some exciting news as prom season is upon us. That the decision was made to bring the Batesville High School prom back to Batesville High School. Why the change?
So there's air conditioning, and it's also a bigger place for the students. And we can also have after prom and prom in the same building.
Wonderful. And so the air conditioning, I know, is maybe a little bit of a concern over the past couple of years. So by putting it in the field house, that at least we can have a little bit more comfortable environment.
Yeah.
So Angela, although the prom is moving, tell us what's going to be the same about having the prom at the high school, and then maybe what maybe a little bit different other than the air conditioning when we had the prom at the old gym.
So there's still going to be like a lot of the same things at prom, but the way we go about things is what's changing. So we are bringing Kiwanis to do like valet parking, so that's all going to change, like where you enter and everything. And then we've also like rented backdrops since it's a much bigger space, and we've never done that before. And then with the new change and everything, we are trying to use the app Remind to like notify students like when prom is coming, like about the week before.
Wonderful. So all of the logistics have changed. I'm old enough to remember when the prom was actually in the main gym many years ago before moving to the old gym. So we're going to have it in the field house, Ella. So that means every logistics part of this has changed. Let's start with the very first step. I'm a prom goer. Where do I park, and how do I get into Batesville High School?
So like Angela said, we're doing valet parking. So if you can choose not to do that or choose to. So if you choose to, you can drive up to the front and enter door A. And if you choose not to, you can park in the back and walk around to the front and enter through door A as well. And then you'll walk through the main gym, and then you'll walk to the auditorium where Mr. Pearson will introduce you, and then you'll go up to the auction and go to prom.
Wonderful. So we'll still have part of the prom experience, Angela, where our public is able to see the kids dressed up and to see them walk through. Take us through that, right? So Ella mentioned that we're going to enter door A, go through the gym, and go through the auditorium. Take us through that experience.
So if you are the public, though, you're going to enter through the auditorium doors. So
Okay.
it is a different entrance. And then that will be open for 7 for people to come through. And then you just head straight into the auditorium, and then you wait for them to start announcing at around 7:40.
Okay. And so, Ella, then where should I park? I'm a community member. I love this part of this. You talked about the valet parking in the front, led by the Kiwanis, and then some of our prom goers in the back. So let's just say I just want to come watch the walk-through of prom. Where should I park? And then, again, how do I get access to Batesville High School?
So you're going to park either at the BPS or you can park in the back as well. And you'll enter door N and C.
Okay, so we can enter door N, or we can enter in even door Z in the front, depending upon where I park. If I'm part of the public, then I can to come watch the prom. But all of that will happen in the auditorium. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so we were able to get Mr. Pearson back, and he's going to be able to MC the event and add some of his own commentary along the way. Wonderful. So, Angela, we talked about this move back to Batesville High School with prom. What are the times for prom? So even from when I can get here as a prom goer, maybe when I want to get here as an attendee, and then also the schedule of events of prom night itself.
Okay. So, like I said before, if you are the public, you can start coming at 7. But for the actual students, the doors do not open until 7:30.
Okay.
So prom starts at 7:30. It'll last 3 hours roughly, ending at 10:30, and then the walkthrough in the auditorium will begin at 7:40.
Okay.
And then after prom is directly after until 1.
Then I would assume then we're also going to have a king and queen crowning again this year. Take us through a little bit about what that will look like.
I actually do not know right now.
Okay.
We're still trying to figure out the logistics of it because we still have to figure out a stage and what that's going to look like with the DJ as well, since the layout of everything is changing. But
we'll typically do that towards the end of prom, somewhere before obviously prom ends. We'll crown the king and the queen of prom, and that typically kind of concludes that event. Ella, part of this also is to continue the highly successful after prom event that will actually be moving to the main gym this year. What's the process for attending, and what can prom goers expect?
So if you go to after prom, you can bring a bag with some change of clothes, and you can either leave that in your car or you can bring it into the school, and they'll put your name on the bag, and they'll put it in a safe spot and then give it to you after prom. And you can change in the school this year. That's something different. And then you can go to the main gym and join all the activities and stuff.
Wonderful. And so I think we talked about maybe using the locker rooms for kids to be able to change instead of having to leave and come back or whatever. But what time does after prom start, and what time do we typically close the doors for after prom?
So it starts at after prom, like around 10:30ish, and it ends at 12, or it ends at 1.
Okay.
And prizes are given out at 12.
Okay, and so you got to be. We want you to stay through at least the prizes to get there, and ideally stay till 1 o'clock. We know it's a long day.
Yeah.
For a lot of individuals, but to go through, but the prom experience and the after prom experience typically goes from about 7 p.m. when people can start arriving to 1 o'clock in the morning. Angela, ticket sales begin on Thursday, April 6th. This will air on Wednesday, April the 5th, and so the next day we'll start our prom 2-week prom window of tickets. So take me through what people can expect as our prom ticket sales begin April 6th and close at a hard deadline on April 20th, 11:59 p.m.
So everything is going to be done through EventLink online. So you'll purchase your tickets, register, everything is going to be online. And you will need to make sure you put your shirt size if you're going to after prom. And if you are bringing a student that is not from BHS, you will need to have a photo ID of them when you are registering. So you need to make sure you are prepared for that when you begin registering. And then if you have any follow-up questions, you can talk to Mrs. Stern or Mrs. Spreckelson.
Wonderful. And this is all online process. We're actually making sure that with prom being on April the 28th, April the 29th, that the registration is a week prior. So with ticket sales beginning the 6th and then closing the 20th, we've got to get moving here a little bit to make sure we get everybody registered on time, correct?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So Ella, also part of this is the class of 24 attends for free. Our juniors will attend for free with some of the funds that were left over from the 8th grade trip to DC that unfortunately didn't occur. But they still must register, correct? Why if I'm a junior, if I attend for free, must I still register online?
So you need to register so that way if you bring a date too, you can register your date. And also because that way we know how many people are coming. And if you're going after prom, I mentioned that you get a shirt for after prom. We need to know your size and stuff.
Okay, and so when I register on that, it won't charge me anything, but I still need to register if I'm a member of the junior class.
Yeah, and you also need to register and pay for your date.
Wonderful. So, girls, as we go through all the logistics of it, I know that you've put a lot of work into the planning and then the execution of it. Let's talk more about the fun side of it. Angela, what are you most looking forward to about prom?
Well, personally, I've never been to prom before, so I'm just really excited to see what it looks like, and especially being in a new space, everything's changing for everyone. So just to see how what our plan that had to change from previous years, what it's gonna look like, and the new gym.
Wonderful. Ella, similar question. What are you most looking forward to about prom?
So I went to prom last year.
Okay.
And so I'm really excited to see if we go to the auction because it was hot. It was very, very hot.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, and so the move back here also again requiring some logistics. But we've been very fortunate over the years to have our community members help through after prom. You mentioned the Kiwanis with the valet parking. If I'm a community member watching this and would like to help, how do I go about that?
So you can contact Amy Wolters at 812-212-2343 or an email batesvilleafterprom@gmail.com. And you can either donate products or gift cards or even just service.
Wonderful. So the last Saturday in April, we're hoping for good weather. We're hoping for at least dry weather. We won't be so concerned about how hot it is, but anyway, we want to make sure that it's dry so the walk-in isn't problematic for all the work that goes into getting ready for prom. But ladies, thank you very much. One last question about prom. Again, it's Saturday, April the 29th. Any final thoughts? Nope, we're just looking forward to a fun event. The ticket sales become live on Thursday, April the 6th, and close on the 20th, and we'll look forward to having everything back here at Batesville High School. This has been Ella Wolters and Angela Diaz talking about the prom for this spring, moving back to Batesville High School. Thank you, ladies.